that may be brought to bear. And the first of these I'd like to talk about is this gun. This is called a 2S7. It's 203mm caliber. It has a range of about 37 kilometers, and it fires a shell that weighs 110 kilograms. It can also fire a nuclear shell with a yield of about 1 kiloton, 1,000 tons of TNT equivalent. So when President Putin starts to talk about nuclear options, he may have in mind something like this. But there are other equally devastating weapons that are not nuclear. On this next photograph, this rocket launcher fires 30 of these rockets in about 15 seconds over a relatively short range of about 6 kilometers. And these are thermobaric rockets. They deliver a vapor that is exploded, producing essentially a wall of fire that would devastate the equivalent of a city block. These weapons have been seen in Ukraine. We don't believe they've been fired yet, but they're in the Russian inventory. But if President Putin is thinking of nuclear options, then he may turn to this next item, the Iskander missile, a range of about 500 kilometers. In its conventional guise, it fires a missile with a 480-kilogram warhead, which is massive, with an accuracy of about 5 meters. It can be used to fire a nuclear weapon with a yield of between 5 and 50 kilotons. So with that range and with that sort of yield, it would be absolutely devastating if it was used in the context of the war underway in Ukraine. But President Putin has raised the stakes. He started to talk about nuclear weapons or insinuate nuclear weapons at a global level. And this means the sort of equipment on this next picture. This is an intercontinental ballistic missile. That means it reaches from Russia to the US and obviously into Europe. The warhead at the front of it has a yield of between 300 and 800 kilotons. 300 kilotons is enough to destroy Washington or London or Paris. And that means by raising this sort of spectre on the next map, we should understand that the stakes for Ukraine have now become global. Essentially, by raising the spectre of nuclear weapons, the rest of the Western Hemisphere is now on the pitch with Ukraine.